Shantogen.
Bienvenidos, mi gente. So have you guys ever looked at something and said, I can probably make that, but worse? Well, that's what we're going to do today. I decided to put myself to a little bit of a challenge, and that challenge was to create a clock. Now, as you can see, this here is the Etho Hopper clock. It is famous, it is notorious. This is the tileable version, I believe. And it is simple, it is straightforward. You put the items will go through from one side to the other and back, and it constantly repeats. It cycles. It is simple, it is clean, it uses a total of 11 different items, I believe, if you don't count the on-off switch. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11. Yeah, because you need the blocks to be able to send the signal up. So it's 11 blocks. We're not counting the light. But yes, so I decided, hey, there's this new item. I wonder, can I find a way? Because these kind of work similar to hoppers in a sense. You have to activate it for it to send through, but they can bounce into each other. And so I decided to challenge myself to make a clock using Autocrafters. It seems like a simple idea. I found it to be harder than it needed to be, but as you can see with this light turning on and off, I have done just that. Give me a moment to uncover my monstrosity. Behold! A clock! But worse! In many different ways. We'll go over the ways, but let me at least try and look at the bright sides at what I've made here, okay? First off, can you not? Just, thank you. Okay. So, we have 3 crafters actually to make this clock work in any reasonable way, which seems excessive. We still have the same 2 hoppers. The only benefit of this design is that it doesn't require the pistons. Probably cheaper to make than some of this other stuff, but it's besides the point. Ignoring the on-off switch that we have here, this piece actually takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can take the moral victory of saying that technically speaking, my clock is 1 block smaller of quantities of blocks than the Etho tileable hopper clock. That is where the good stuff ends. Now on to the wrong stuff. Okay, so what is wrong? Well, first off, the footprint of Etho's clock is definitely much shorter. I mean, you're literally looking at 1 walk wide, right? One block wide. Whereas mine is 4 blocks wide. I guess in theory, I could probably move these 2 onto the top. Yeah, see, look, I now made it 3 wide. Ha! I'm getting closer. Anyways, it is 3 wide, and it essentially takes advantage of the fact that you can pull signals out of these, just like you can pull signals out of these, and it works on a stack. So in this specific case, as you guys saw, what it's doing is actually redstone. So the redstone is getting filtered into here, 1 per slot. When it reaches max, this will then fire, which will come into here, which will then fire this, which technically fires both. Because we're hard powering this block, so this block also gets powered. At the same time, there's always going to be a block of redstone here. So there's a block of redstone there, and we have 9 redstone coming in here, then that cycles back around. So technically, this clock runs on 18, a stack of 18. Could you increase the time? Yes, not as simply as this, but you in theory could, probably by adding more of these units. Again, it is a clock made horrible, but you clicked on the video because you wanted to see somebody make a clock out of an Autocrafter. And that is precisely what I did. I made a clock from an Autocrafter. And then as far as what this Autocrafter... Ooh, why did I... Alright. And so this Autocrafter is just basically for the subtraction here. This has everything except 2, which is enough for whenever this gets full, it'll send the signal over to then reset the whole process. Essentially, we're just taking 2 redstone blocks, breaking it down into redstone and putting it back into a block, and so, and repeat, and so on. So, how do you make this? Well, it's quite simple, and I'll build it right out here next to it for you. First things first, you need one going up, and you need the other going into the crafter. You then want to have 2 hoppers, let's make it daytime. 1 hopper here, and 1 hopper into here. That is the basis of the clock. Everything else is just to power these. So, from here, we need to take a redstone signal out of here. We need to put a repeater into that one, and 2 redstone dusts. Now, I like always putting this here so that it's an easy start and stop. We're going to go ahead and power that, and we will put 18 dust in this hopper. So while this is powered, this hopper won't go into there, and that's priming it. The only thing we need now is another one of these. We'll set it right here. You can set it facing any way. You can literally put it this way. You can put it that way, or that way. It doesn't really matter because the only thing we're doing is we're using it as a signal. So we'll come down here, put that there, make sure that that one's set to subtract mode, meaning whatever this is will then get subtracted to whatever's coming out of here. And that is what allows us to have a much smaller footprint, because if not, then we'd have to like make a really long line to come through and back. Then here, doesn't matter which ones you do, but everything except 2. And that is it. That is your clocked prime. Once you're ready for the clock to go, you can just boop. And there you go. Now, the beauty of this is that technically speaking, you can pull the signal off of either one of these 2. Because ultimately, when this goes on, it then goes on to over here. So, it's quite instantaneous. The only difference is I think you get 1 extra tick of light. So, as you see here, it goes on, goes off. If I break that and then put a repeater here, then the light should stay on just ever so slightly longer, you see? So if you wanted a little bit of a delay pulse, you can also use this for that method, to delay the pulse just ever so slightly. That is, well, that's it. That's my clock. You can feel free to call it whatever you want. I've called it a clock made wrong. Shanto's wrong clock. How about that? This is the Shanto's wrong clock. Made with Autocrafters. It's not beautiful, but it's mine. And I like it. Thank you guys for... I broke it. I broke it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you guys next time. And as we like to say here, hasta mañana.